not only do we have a new event starting, we also have a new Void champion. And not only is he a new Void champion, he is a guaranteed Void Lego, guys. Okay, so if you have the resources, we have starting the Verdant Deck of Faith. Okay, so the usual crack with all of these card games that they have there, we're going to have to use resources, complete event objectives, flip over the coins and get rewards. And all of his fragments are going to be behind those cards. So generally, look, it does take you have to turn most of the cards to get it. You could get extremely lucky and beat the curve and get them early, or it could go to the last cards. And I know we have done it out mathematically and seen that that's the way it is. It sometimes does need to go that far. So who are we talking about and what's the crack with them? Let's have a look. It is Kawn Branchbreaker. Kawn is pretty good, but we're going to look over the kit here, and I'm going to give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down at the end of the video. And yeah, we'll have a little breakdown of where he's good, where he has uses, and so on and so forth. So let's have a look at the kit. First things first, click on the link below and get yourself a free Karato Fox Hunter, as well as 4 amazing epics. Here's the exact steps of what you need to do. Log out of Plarium Play on PC. Step 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step 3, launch raid and complete the tutorial. Step 4, go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Here we go. You'll find yourself Karato Fox Hunter, as well as Uugo, Rector, Drath, Tagoar, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. That's it. It's that simple. Click on the link, follow those directions, and on with the video. A1, right? Attacks one enemy. Before attacking, removes 1 random buff from the target, and it can't be resisted if this champion has a shield buff, which is pretty good. I mean, if you put him in a blood shield ring, that's going to be constant up on him, okay? So that is pretty good there. Might function well as well with the Blessing Emergency Heal. He is a defense-based champion as well, so the blood shield, emergency heal, and we'll have another look at something else later on his kit, which will synergize really well with those. But not only is it irresistible, so you don't need any accuracy on him for that. You don't need any accuracy on him at all, okay? But then he also places a block revive debuff if this attack kills an enemy. Now, I think this is the only time I have ever heard it referred to as a block revive debuff. I think that's the only place. It has always been a debuff. It has always been a debuff. Not only that, it's always been an irresistible debuff in the game mechanics. Like, so for instance, Phoenix is A1. He doesn't need accuracy to place block revive. It's not like it can be resisted. But yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen that wording. So I wonder, does that make a change? Now, also increases the value of any shield buffs on this champion by 30% of the damage dealt, and cannot increase it by more than 10,000. So that's pretty good as well. Anybody with shield increase, it's generally very useful and very good. So we like a bit of that, but it gets better as well. Then why does it get better? Because we have these next 2 skills. So attacks all enemies, ignores the percentage of the target's defense equal to 50% of the difference between his HP and any shields on them. So it'll be based on a percentage difference, I would think, with a maximum being him with full HP and them with, a 50% shield. That'll be 50%, something like that. But he'll ignore up to 50% of their defense, and always destroys each target's max HP by 20% of the damage inflicted, and he can get that up to 50%. We'll also do that through any shield buffs as well, which is pretty good. And that's on a 3-turn cooldown, guys, AoE as well. So I like that. I like that for Arena. I like that for Scarab. Where else is that good? That would mainly be the 2 places, I think. Any place waves as well with a lot of revivers, that's going to help you out as well. And then finally, we have this. Places a shield buff proportional to his defense and a 25% strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a counterattack buff on this champion for 2 turns. Okay, so that is on a 5-turn cooldown with 2 books. Just 2 books. That comes down to a 3-turn cooldown. I like that. I think is there good book value at 4 in the A1, 3 and 2. That's 9. 9 is pretty good. 9's a bit as good as you're going to get these days. So I like that. So plenty of survivability there with the A3 going on as well. So shield buff on everybody and him. That's a lot of extra placement. And then he has the counter attack, which will synergize really well with a block revive, an irresistible buff strip if he has a shield on, which he does, and that's going to be really good. So he's going to be good in arena, maybe not meta, maybe not like top tier or anything like that, but he has a couple of little places, and I'd say a couple of people not going in knowing what he does could easily be called out by that. Block revive, the only way to circumvent block revive is with Lydia. So Lydia's passive is the only thing so far that can get round block revive. I think Yumeko's Hex and Reflect used to passively get round it, but I don't think that's a real thing anymore. As well as all of that, he removes 1 random buff from himself at the start of every turn. So he's like a selfish Doom Priest in that regard. And every 4th turn, he gets an increased defense on himself. So he's a defense-based champion. All of these are based on defense, the damage. So he'll be buffing himself as well. Now, this would be good if it was starts with and then every 4th turn gets it again, because he doesn't have anything when he's going first. So that's a bit naff. For a Void Legendary, it would be handy if he got it on, or started with it, or got it on his first turn, and then every 4th turn. But maybe it's coded like that, and it just doesn't read like that. Increases his defense as well by 3% for each debuff removed by this skill. So every time he cleanses himself, he's getting in his defense increased as well. So that's a lot of passive increases there, guys. So nothing wrong with that at all. So where is he going to be good? Where is he useful? He's going to be really good in Clan Boss. Okay, so Clan Boss, shield and strengthen and counter attack. He's protecting your team with shield. He's protecting your team with strengthen. He's counterattack on himself, so he's going to get more attacks on his turn. He's removing the increased attack buff off the boss, so that's helping your survivability there as well. And then he's just doing damage on this one as well. So we probably actually maybe turn that one off and then just use the A1 and the A3. And this will also help him out here as well, because if you could finagle it, he could also be your stun target, because he's going to cleanse the stun off himself every turn regardless. So if you had him as your stun target, you're not going to have any issues. To manipulate it to get him because he's a void, that's going to be very, very tricky. Greater minds than me could and probably have done similar, but I don't have a definitive way to do that. I know there's masteries you have on, what buffs you have on, what all that kind of thing. So we're not going to go into that now, but it is possible with him. He could be good there. So what else? Where else could he be good? Hydra, again, survivability, but also he has a unique buff, counter attack, so he can then be your mischief tank. You can build him with really high resistance because he doesn't need any accuracy. He'll also help you keep some of the buffs off some of the Hydra heads as well, which is really handy. He'll self cleanse the fear debuff off himself as well, so that's going to be very handy too, because the fear debuff, as far as I remember, is irresistible. Because so if you build him with high resistance to be a mischief tank, he'll still cleanse off the fear, or he'll still get feared in the first place and then be able to cleanse it off to proc this part of the passive and make him stronger. So pretty good kit. When you don't start looking into it, it's a pretty underwhelming kit, but to be honest with you, I think it's pretty good. I have just gone on to check out to see if we have any multipliers from him yet, and it doesn't look like we do just yet. So I don't know what the damage from the A2 and the A1 is going to be, but he looks like he's built to be a defensive nuker, so it'll be interesting to see what those numbers are. So is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down from me? It depends is the answer, is always the answer. For my main account, it's a thumbs down. I'm not going to burn the resources to go for him. He's not going to change my account. Is he a good champion? Yes. Is he going to do anything for me? Not really. On my free to play, I'd love to have him, so it'd be a thumbs up. The resource, I don't have the resources to get him, so there's a catch-22 there, you know. But otherwise, if you have the resources, the thing to remember is a lot of those things, you're going to be burning those resources anyway. You're going to be using them. You're going to get the rewards from using those resources anyway. You may as well do it when there's a guarantee that you can get somebody like this as well. Now, I know back in the day, Michinaki was a guaranteed champion for a combined type event as well. And I ended up going in here and I had something like 4,500 mystery shards. And I got them by pulling mystery shards. Now, it wasn't my best weekend I ever had, but you have mystery shards stockpiled. That could go a long way to doing it if it is a summon rush or a champ chase type event. Now, we have one on at the minute, so it likely isn't. But yeah, so overall, I don't think he's a must-get champion. He is a decent champion. He has some ratings in here already. Where are they? Where are you, Kawn? Good man. And I don't think they're probably right. Arena offense, no. He'd probably be better in arena defense. He is going to be very good in Faction Wars. He's going to be pretty good in Ice Golem's Peak. He'll be good in Hydra. Chimera, he could have a place for sure. And Spiders then, no, I don't think so. Demon Lord should be way higher than that, definitely. And I think those are the main places that he could be used, guys. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything obvious? Did I have a brain fart completely and I'm reviewing the wrong champion? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.